CutTime presents a case study on administrative evolution.
I used to have a Mac Classic back in my band room, and everything was in a file on a floppy disk, which was one of those real floppy disks. As a university director, I found CutTime especially helpful, evolving with it over the last 3 years, a lot like I've evolved with the technology that's come along.
This is Dr. Christopher Heidenreich. He's the director of bands and associate professor at Louisiana Tech University. As you've heard, Dr. Heidenreich has embraced technology throughout his career. So when he considered using CutTime to manage the Band of Pride's program administration, he was open to it, but also hesitant as to whether or not it was the right fit for a university program. So how did CutTime evolve to help modernize the Band of Pride's program administration? Here's what Dr. Heidenreich had to say.
So managing inventory was really the first thing that attracted me to CutTime, and it was the barcode system. There were other systems out there, but at the time, CutTime was the only one that allowed you to print your own barcodes, use a scanner, and track things. There was the ability to send an instrument to repair, so to speak. And then as CutTime evolved, when I first started, it really was geared more towards the high school director. So for example, when you came to recognizing what year a student was, the only options were freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And recently, CutTime has now adapted it to universities where I can track if it's their first year, second year, third year, fourth year, or if they're on a victory lap or more. And so that feature alone is one thing that I have appreciated the way CutTime has evolved. The other way that I really feel that CutTime has been helpful is communication. What attracted me and kept me going was text messaging. Last year was the first year that I used the text messaging. Sometimes I need to get information out to students right away. Practice is delayed or we're going to stay indoors. And I really hesitated in sending those text messages because I didn't want my students to be hammered with so many where they just started to ignore me. At the end of the season, I sit down with the leadership group and I say, okay, how can we improve? What do you want to see differently? And they said to me, we want more. We want more text messages, one a week that kind of gives us a summary of what's going on. I think that's really going to make that another powerful tool that we'll be able to use for our university level students. There are different systems to do text message. There are different systems to do inventory. It seemed like CutTime pulled them all together. I think that was another thing that attracted me to CutTime in the first place. I've been trying to get away from paper. When I came here, we were making 24,000 or so copies a year in CutTime for our university students. They can accept some paperwork for equipment. Now we've got the ability to do it electronically. They can do their own signature right there. And now students are going to be able to input their own data and also check it and make any corrections. So again, it's just another example of how I think CutTime is evolving and making it a total package rather than just a piecemeal. So I guess if there's anything that I would give for advice, it would be if you have a suggestion, offer it. I've made a couple over the years, especially with that inventory. Been in touch with a couple engineers who have said, okay, from your perspective, how can we make this a little bit better? And I've just appreciated that ability to offer some input.
In short, the Band of Pride leveraged CutTime's evolution to undergo an evolution of their own. And now they're more modern and efficient than ever, which means they get to play more music. How can CutTime help your program evolve? Find out today. Click or scan to learn more.